Thunder roars, waves slamming the yacht's deck like a war drum, but I'm not here for their champagne lies. They branded me a failure, a ghost in my own family, while they raised glasses to my sister's gilded crown. My parents cheered her every triumph, her glittering career, as if my blood, my battles, meant nothing. They sneered when I warned them about this ship, its polished decks hiding a rotting truth. This isn't a cruise, it's a coffin, built on betrayal, stained with secrets they thought I'd never uncover. I clutch the shredded naval flag, lightning searing the sky, and vow to rip their lies apart. I won't be erased. I'm Riley Parker. I'm 32 years old. And tonight, I'll burn their deception to the ground. Smash that like button, share this video, and join me to expose the truth. The storm's roar fades, but the sting of being forgotten lingers like salt in a wound. I step onto the polished deck of the Starlight Serenity, a 200-foot luxury yacht docked in the Chesapeake Bay, Maryland. The air smells of champagne and privilege, but my worn boots squeak against the teak, a reminder I don't belong. 3 years ago, at my Naval Academy graduation in Annapolis, my parents, Jim and Linda Parker, barely glanced my way. Their cheers were for my sister, Olivia Bennett, the golden child who climbed the ranks of the maritime elite. "Olivia's our star," Mom said, clinking her glass, while Dad nodded, avoiding my eyes. I was the invisible one, the daughter who chose covert naval missions over their approval. Now, I'm just a surf instructor, teaching kids to ride waves 5 miles down the coast. Olivia's invitation to this launch party, her big contract with some high-roller cruise line, felt like pity. "Come celebrate, Riley," her email read, all corporate polish. But standing here, surrounded by influencers snapping selfies, I feel it again, that old, sharp ache of being unseen. I weave through the crowd, the yacht's chandeliers casting golden light on faces I don't know. Olivia's voice cuts through, bright and practiced. "Welcome aboard, everyone. This is my moment." She's radiant in a navy blue dress, her smile commanding the room. She spots me, her eyes flickering with something, disdain, maybe. "Riley, you made it," she says, loud enough for heads to turn. "Still saving turtles with those surf lessons?" The crowd chuckles, and my cheeks burn. I force a smile, biting back the truth. I once led a classified rescue op that saved 50 lives in these very waters. "Just here for the free drinks," I quip, my voice steady despite the knot in my chest. Olivia laughs, but it's hollow, and she turns away, dismissing me again. I head to the railing, the bay stretching out like a dark mirror under the twilight sky. The ship hums beneath my feet, but something feels off, a faint vibration, like a warning. I glance at the navigation deck, its lights dimmer than they should be for a vessel this size. My old naval instincts kick in, whispering danger. Then, a young crew member, Ethan, approaches, his eyes wide. "Ma'am, are you Thuyen Truong Parker?" he whispers, glancing around. "I read about you in the archives. Chesapeake, 2018. You're a legend." My heart skips. Nobody's called me that in years. "Keep that quiet," I murmur, but his words spark something fierce inside me. I look out at the water, my grip tightening on the rail. This isn't just a party. Something's wrong with this ship, and I'm done being invisible. "What's your story, Ethan?" I ask, turning to him. "And what's really going on here?" He hesitates, then leans closer. "This yacht, it's not what it seems." My pulse races. I'm Riley Parker, and I'm about to find out why. Stick with me, hit that subscribe button, and let's uncover the truth together. #TruthOnDeck. The Chesapeake Bay glitters under the twilight, but the Starlight Serenity feels like it's holding its breath. I stand at the railing, Ethan's words echoing in my head, "This yacht isn't what it seems." My old naval instincts scream to investigate, so I slip away from the party's chatter, the clink of champagne glasses fading behind me. The navigation deck is my first stop, tucked 50 feet from the main lounge. The doors unlocked, sloppy for a vessel this size. Inside, the control panel glows faintly, but the radar screen is dark, completely disabled. My stomach twists. A ship like this, carrying 200 passengers, should have redundant systems blazing. I tap the GPS console, and the coordinates flash: 37.1 degrees north, 75.8 degrees west. That's not the coastal route Olivia bragged about at dinner. We're headed 20 miles out to international waters, a no man's land where help's a long shot. This isn't a cruise, it's a gamble. I hear footsteps and spin around. It's Ethan, his face pale under the dim lights. "Ma'am, you shouldn't be here," he whispers, glancing over his shoulder. "The crew's not supposed to question the route." His voice shakes, but there's fire in his eyes, like he's been waiting for someone to listen. "Question what?" I press, stepping closer. He hesitates, then spills. I check the logs. This ship's got a history, classified stuff. I saw your name in the 2018 Chesapeake files. You led that rescue op, didn't you? My chest tightens. That mission, the one that saved 50 lives but cost me everything, was buried by the Navy. Keep your voice down, I snap, but my mind's racing. Ethan's not just a fan, he's a loose thread in someone's cover-up. I motion for him to follow me to the lower deck, away from prying eyes. The air grows heavy, smelling of oil and steel. We duck into a maintenance closet, the hum of the engines masking our words. "What do you know about this ship?" I ask, my voice low. Ethan pulls out a crumpled chart, pointing to a scratched note: Chesapeake Dawn, 2018. My blood runs cold. That was the ship my father, Nathan Parker, commanded before he vanished. "This yacht's a rebuild," Ethan says, his voice barely above a whisper. "Same hull number." They hid it. I grab the chart, my fingers tracing the words. Then I see it, carved into the metal wall, jagged and desperate: "This ship died in 2018. My heart pounds like a war drum. This isn't a coincidence. It's a ghost ship, and I'm standing on its grave. I storm back to the main deck, the party still in full swing. Olivia's holding court, her laugh sharp as glass. I cut through the crowd, my boots thudding. "Olivia, we need to talk," I say, my voice slicing through her chatter. She turns, her smile faltering. "Riley, don't make a scene," she hisses, pulling me aside. "What's this about the route?" I demand, holding up the chart. "We're headed to international waters." "Why?" Her eyes narrow, but she recovers fast. "Guests want adventure, not a boring coastal tour," she says, waving a hand. "Stop playing sailor. You're embarrassing yourself." Her words sting, but I see the flicker of unease in her eyes. She knows something. I lean in, my voice ice cold. "This ship's hiding a secret, Olivia. And I'm going to find it." She scoffs, but her hands tremble. I turn to the camera, my pulse racing. The carved words, "This ship died in 2018 *, haunt me as I clutch Ethan's chart, the link between the Starlight Serenity and my father's lost ship, the Chesapeake Dawn. Olivia's trembling hands and her dismissal of my warning about the yacht's rogue route replay in my mind, fueling my resolve. This isn't a mistake, it's a conspiracy, and I'm standing on its bones. I lead Ethan down a creaking stairwell to the engine room, 30 feet below the main deck. The air grows thick with the stench of diesel and rust, the party's distant music swallowed by the machinery's low growl. "We need proof," I say, my voice taut as a steel cable. Ethan nods, his jaw tight, but his eyes show he's all in. My naval training steadies my hands, but my heart pounds with the weight of what we might uncover. We duck into a storage bay, its walls stacked with dusty crates. Ethan spots a rusted metal cabinet, its padlock glinting faintly under a flickering bulb. I grab a crowbar from a toolbox, my grip firm despite the adrenaline surging through me. The lock breaks with a sharp snap, revealing a dusty hard drive inside, labeled Chesapeake Dawn, 2018. My breath catches. This could hold the truth about my father, Nathan Parker. Ethan connects the drive to a portable screen, his fingers fumbling as the device hums to life. Grainy footage flickers on, a security feed from the Dawn-S bridge, timestamped July 15, 2018. My father's voice pierces the static, ragged and fierce. Vincent, stop this. You're betraying us all. Vincent Caldwell, younger but unmistakable, smirks on the screen. You're expendable, Nathan. Business is business. The footage cuts off as my father charges forward, his face twisted with defiance. I stumble back, my chest heaving. Ethan steadies me, his voice low. Riley, you good? I can barely speak, my throat tight. He fought them, I whisper, tears welling. Vincent sold him out. The truth crashes over me, this yacht is a rebuilt tomb, masking a murder. Then I see it, an envelope tucked behind the drive, my name scrawled in my father's familiar script. My hands shake as I rip it open. The letter is brief, the ink faded but piercing. Riley, you're my light. If you read this, don't let them hide the truth. I'm proud of you. I press the paper to my heart, sobs breaking free. He believed in me, even when my own family didn't. I wipe my face, anger and purpose surging. I won't let his fight be forgotten. Heavy footsteps interrupt us, and Ethan freezes. Someone's here, he hisses. I slip the letter into my jacket and turn as a woman enters, mid-40s, with piercing eyes and a clipboard. You're not authorized to be here, she says, but her voice holds no malice. I'm Clara Hayes, ex-Navy engineer. I heard you talking about the Dawn at the party, Riley. Her words hit like a shockwave. She's not just a guest, she's a witness. Why get involved? I ask, my tone guarded. Clara's gaze hardens. My brother was on that ship. He never came home. We stare at each other, a shared wound binding us. The engine room's rumble feels like a pulse, urging us forward. I nod to Clara and Ethan. We're bringing this into the light, no matter who stands in our way. My father's letter burns in my pocket, a promise I'll keep. The engine room's pulse still echoes in my ears as I clutch my father's letter, his words, Riley, you're my light, igniting a fire in my chest. The footage of Vincent Caldwell betraying Nathan Parker, my dad, plays on a loop in my mind, each frame sharpening my resolve. Clara Hayes' revelation about her brother's death on the Chesapeake Dawn binds us tighter, a trio forged in shared loss, me, Clara, and Ethan. We slip out of the storage bay, the Starlight Serenity, steel walls closing in like a trap. My naval instincts scream, confront the source. Vincent's running this show, and Olivia's unease at my questions about the ship's route hints she's not as clueless as she acts. I lead Clara and Ethan up 40 feet of service stairs to the VIP lounge, where the party's glamour masks the yacht's dark heart. The Chesapeake Bay stretches black beyond the glass, 10 miles from shore, and every second pulls us deeper into danger. The lounge is a hive of laughter and clinking glasses, but Vincent stands out, mid-50s, in a tailored suit, live streaming to a sea of glowing screens. This is luxury redefined, he boasts, his smile as polished as the 100-foot deck outside. I push through the crowd, my pulse hammering. Clara and Ethan flank me, their faces set. Vincent, I call, my voice cutting through the chatter. He turns, his grin faltering for a split second. Riley Parker, he says, smooth as oil. Enjoying the cruise? The crowd parts, eyes on us. I hold up the hard drive, my grip steady. I found the Chesapeake Dawn footage. You sold out my father. Why? Gasps ripple through the room, but Vincent laughs, cold and sharp. Your father was a dreamer, Riley. Heroes don't pay the bills. His words slice deep, but I stand taller. You killed him for profit, I spit, my voice trembling with rage. Before I can press further, Olivia sweeps in, her navy dress shimmering under the chandeliers. Riley, stop this, she hisses, her eyes darting to Vincent. You're ruining everything. I turn to her, betrayal clawing at my heart. You knew, didn't you? I demand, stepping closer. You knew about the Dawn, about Vincent's deal. Olivia's face pales, her lips parting, but no words come. The silence is damning. I had to protect my future, she finally whispers, her voice barely audible. The crowd murmurs, but her confession hits like a rogue wave. My own sister, choosing ambition over truth, over our father. I want to scream, but Vincent signals, and 2 security guards grab my arms, their grips iron tight. Take her below, he orders, his smile returning. She's disturbing the guests. Clara tries to step in, but Ethan pulls her back, his eyes wide with fear. Riley, he shouts as the guards drag me toward a service hatch. My boots scrape the polished floor, but I don't struggle, not yet. They shove me into a freezing cryo hold, 20 feet below deck, the door slamming shut with a metallic clang. The air is bitter, my breath clouding, but I'm not alone. Scratched into the steel wall is a faded naval insignia, my father's unit patch. My fingers trace it, fury and grief colliding. Then, a glint catches my eye, a rusted utility knife, wedged behind a pipe. I grab it, my hands shaking but certain. Olivia's betrayal, Vincent's lies, they think they've won. But I'm Nathan Parker's daughter, and this fight is far from over. The cryo hold's icy air bites my skin, but the naval insignia scratched into the steel wall, my father Nathan Parker's unit patch, fuels a fire in my veins. Olivia's betrayal, her whispered admission that she protected her career over our father's truth, cuts deeper than Vincent Caldwell's smug dismissal in the VIP lounge. Locked 20 feet below the Starlight Serenity's deck, in a chamber reeking of frost and metal, I grip the rusted utility knife I found wedged behind a pipe. My hands tremble, not from cold, but from a rage that's been simmering since my family called me a failure. Vincent thinks he's buried me like he buried my dad, but I'm not done. The Chesapeake Bay churns outside, 12 miles from safety, and this ship, a reborn Chesapeake Dawn, is a ticking bomb. I'm getting out, and I'm taking the truth with me. I jam the knife into the door's lock, my naval training steadying my movements. The blade scrapes metal, sparks flying in the dim blue light. Each twist is a defiance of Vincent's orders, of Olivia's silence. The lock groans but holds. Come on, I mutter, sweat beading despite the chill. Finally, a snap echoes, and the door creaks open. I slip into a narrow service corridor, the walls slick with condensation, the air heavy with oil. My boots echo softly as I climb a 15-foot ladder to a maintenance hatch. Ethan and Clara Hayes must be out there, waiting. I push the hatch, emerging into a utility room near the engine deck, 30 feet below the main party. The hum of machinery drowns out the distant laughter above. Ethan's there, his face pale but determined, hunched over a laptop. Clara, her sharp eyes scanning a blueprint, looks up. Riley, thank God, Ethan breathes, his voice tight. They locked down the upper decks after they took you. Clara points to the blueprint, her finger tracing a red line. The navigation system's offline, but there's a backup console in the auxiliary control room, 50 feet aft. If we can access it, we might send a distress signal. Her voice is steady, but her clenched fist betrays her anger. She lost her brother on the Dawn, she's as driven as I am. Vincent's steering us into a dead zone, I say, my voice low. International waters, no radar, no help. We stop him now. We move fast, weaving through tight corridors, the ship's steel groaning like it's alive. In the auxiliary control room, a dusty panel flickers under Clara's touch. Ethan plugs in his laptop, fingers flying. The system's locked, he curses. Vincent's got a remote override. My mind races to the 2018 footage, my father's desperate plea. I slam my fist on the console. We're not letting him win again, I growl. Clara nods, pulling a circuit breaker. Sparks fly as she bypasses the lock, and the screen lights up. Coordinates flash, 37.0 degrees north, 75.7 degrees west, a naval test zone, abandoned for acoustic anomalies that could sink a ship. My blood runs cold. Vincent's not just hiding a crime, he's risking 200 lives for it. I punch in an old naval distress code, my fingers shaking but sure. The signal pulses, but a red alert flashes, transmission blocked. Vincent's one step ahead. Ethan's eyes widen. He's got someone on the outside, he says, voice cracking. Clara grips my shoulder. We keep fighting, Riley. For your dad. For my brother. I nod, my jaw tight, the knife still in my hand. Vincent and Olivia think they've caged me. They're wrong. I'm Nathan Parker's daughter, and this ship's secrets are about to break free. The auxiliary control room's flickering screen taunts me. It's red alert, asterisk transmission blocked asterisk, a gut punch. Vincent Caldwell's override from some unseen ally has trapped the Starlight Serenity in a naval test zone, 12 miles off the Chesapeake Bay, where acoustic anomalies could tear this ship apart. My father Nathan Parker's letter burns in my pocket, his words, "You're my light," fueling my defiance against Vincent's lies and Olivia's betrayal. Clara Hayes grips the blueprint, her eyes blazing with the pain of losing her brother on the Chesapeake dawn. Ethan's fingers hover over the laptop, his face tight with fear but steady. We're out of time. The ship's steel groans louder, as if warning us of the 200 lives at stake. I clutch the utility knife from the cryo hold, my resolve as sharp as its blade. Vincent thinks he's won, but I'm done being the invisible daughter. We're taking this ship back. I nod to Clara. We hit the main bridge, I say, my voice low but ironclad. It's our last shot. Ethan swallows hard. Vincent's got guards up there, Riley. Clara's jaw tightens. Then we move fast and quiet. We slip through a service corridor, its 50-foot length dim and slick with condensation. My boots tread lightly, every step a silent vow to my father. The bridge looms ahead, a fortress of glass and steel, 100 feet above the main deck. 2 guards stand at the door, their radios crackling. Clara distracts them, dropping a wrench that clangs against a pipe. As they turn, I rush forward, knife in hand, and pin one to the wall. Don't move, I hiss, my naval training kicking in. Ethan disarms the other, his hands shaking but sure. We drag them inside, tying their wrists with cable from the control panel. Vincent stands at the helm, his back to us, live streaming to his oblivious audience. The ultimate adventure, he boasts, his voice slick as oil. I step forward, the tattered naval flag from my father's unit in my grip. Vincent. I shout, my voice echoing off the glass. He spins, his smile vanishing. Riley, you're persistent, he sneers, reaching for a control switch. I lunge, slamming him against the console, the flag falling to the floor. Clara locks the door as Ethan hacks the system, his laptop glowing. I'm in, he yells. I seize the broadcast mic, my heart pounding like a storm. This is Riley Parker, I declare, my voice steady. The Starlight Serenity is the Chesapeake Dawn, a ship lost in 2018. Vincent Caldwell betrayed my father, Nathan Parker, and his crew for profit. This yacht is a lie, and he's risking your lives. I hold up the flag, its faded insignia blazing in the light. The live stream cuts to static, but not before my words reach thousands. Vincent struggles, but Clara pins his arm. You're finished, she growls, her grief raw. Ethan pulls up the distress signal, bypassing the override. A green pulse flashes, asterisk signal sent star. My chest heaves, relief mixing with fury. Through the bridge's window, a gray shape emerges on the horizon, 5 miles out, the Atlantic Guardian, a rescue vessel. Its horn blares, a lifeline in the dark. Vincent slumps, defeated, his empire crumbling. I pick up the flag, my father's legacy in my hands. Olivia's betrayal, Vincent's greed, they tried to erase us. But the truth is out, and it's louder than their lies. I stand tall, the ship's hum steady beneath me, knowing my father would be proud. The Starlight Serenity's bridge is silent now, the control panel's green pulse a faint heartbeat in the aftermath of our fight. Vincent Caldwell slumps in the corner, wrists bound, his empire of lies shattered by the broadcast I sent to thousands. The naval flag of my father, Nathan Parker, lies folded in my hands, its faded insignia a testament to his sacrifice. The Atlantic Guardian's horn echoes across the Chesapeake Bay, its gray hull now just 3 miles away, cutting through the dawn's first light. My chest still aches from Olivia's betrayal, her choice to protect her career over our father's truth, but the weight of my own invisibility is gone. I've proven I'm more than the daughter they called a failure. Clara Hayes stands beside me, her sharp eyes softened by relief, her brother's loss no longer buried. Ethan, his laptop tucked away, offers a shaky grin, his courage undeniable. I step onto the main deck, the 200-foot yacht bathed in a golden glow as the sun rises over the bay. The wind carries the salt of home, 10 miles from the Maryland shore where I teach kids to surf. I think of my father's letter, tucked in my jacket, "Riley, you're my light." His belief in me carried me through the cryo hold, the locked doors, and Vincent's sneers. I turn to Clara, her clipboard discarded, her face etched with quiet strength. "Your brother would be proud," I say, my voice steady but thick. She nods, her eyes glistening. "So would your dad, Riley. You brought them both back." Ethan joins us, his youthful energy tempered by what we've faced. "We did it," he says, almost in disbelief. "We actually stopped him." I grip the flag tighter, its weight grounding me. "This isn't just about stopping Vincent," I reply. "It's about making sure no one's truth gets buried again." The Atlantic Guardian pulls alongside, its crew boarding with swift precision. An officer approaches, her uniform crisp, her salute sharp. "Commander Parker," she says, her voice carrying respect. "Your signal reached Annapolis. We've got Vincent in custody." My heart skips. "Commander," a title I haven't heard in years. I return the salute, the flag still in my hand. "Thank you," I say, my voice cracking. "Make sure the world knows what happened here." She nods, and as the crew secures the yacht, I walk to the railing, the bay stretching wide before me. Olivia's face flashes in my mind, her pale confession, her trembling hands, but I let it go. She chose her path. I chose mine. Standing here, I realize the lesson this ship taught me. It's not about proving yourself to those who overlook you, your family, your past, your doubts. It's about knowing your own worth, fighting for what's right, even when the odds stack high. My father knew that, and now I do too. I unfold the flag, letting it catch the wind, its insignia gleaming. The Starlight Serenity may have been a tomb, but it's also where I found my strength. I look at Clara and Ethan, my unlikely allies, and feel a spark of hope. The truth is free, and so am I. The dawn breaks brighter, and for the first time in years, I know I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. The dawn paints the Chesapeake Bay in hues of gold, the Starlight Serenity now a quiet witness to our victory. Vincent Caldwell is gone, led away in cuffs by the Atlantic Guardian's crew, his lies exposed to the world. The naval flag of my father, Nathan Parker, rests in my hands, its weight a reminder of the truth we've unearthed. Clara Hayes stands at the railing, her sharp eyes tracing the horizon, 8 miles from the Maryland shore where my surf school waits. Ethan, his usual energy subdued, leans against a deck chair, staring at the 200-foot yacht that nearly became our tomb. Olivia's betrayal lingers like a bruise, but the lesson I learned, knowing my own worth, shines brighter. Yet, as the Atlantic Guardian's engines hum nearby, a new unease settles in my gut. This fight feels unfinished, like a wave that hasn't crested. Clara breaks the silence, her voice low. "Riley, you need to see this." She hands me a small USB drive, its surface scratched, labeled Project Siren in faded ink. My heart skips. "Where'd you find it?" I ask, my fingers tightening around the drive. "Under Vincent's desk on the bridge," she says, her eyes narrowing. "It wasn't in the ship's manifest." Ethan steps closer, his face paling. "Siren? That's not a cruise project. That sounds military." My mind flashes to the 2018 footage of my father, his desperate plea against Vincent's betrayal. Could this be what he died to stop? I slide the USB into Ethan's laptop, the screen flickering to life. A single file loads, a grainy map, coordinates blinking, 37.0 degrees north, 75.6 degrees west, just 2 miles from the naval test zone we escaped. A voice memo plays, distorted but chilling. Siren is active. Phase 2 begins. The voice isn't Vincent's. I meet Clara's gaze, her jaw tight with the same fear gripping me. Someone else was pulling the strings, I say, my voice barely above a whisper. Ethan's hands shake as he closes the laptop. What's phase 2? He asks, his voice cracking. I don't answer, my eyes fixed on the USB. The Starlight Serenity may be safe, but the truth is far from settled. My father's flag flutters in the wind, a call to keep fighting. Vincent was a pawn, and the real enemy is still out there, hiding in the shadows of the bay. I grip the drive, my resolve hardening. This ship was just the beginning, and I'm ready for what comes next.